I heard a very fascinating story recently at the just ended Kane University graduation of a young guy who dropped out of school but came back to school and graduated as a valedictorian. I heard he dropped out of school because of financial constraints. But that right there paints a picture of resilience and grit, for someone to go through that, drop out of school and come back, bouncing back that strong and that firm. This paints a picture of resilience and grit. And this is what I want us to discuss today. How do we come back from the lowest ebb when we are broken, when we don't even think that we can come out of the rubble? How do we do it? Being setbacks, kickbacks, being disappointments, being frustrations and all. How do we come out of those challenges? And that's what we want to discuss today. That regardless what you are going through, listen, there is a way out. Regardless the challenges, regardless the frustrations, regardless all the turmoils that you are going through, there is a way of coming out of it. But one key factor or one key component that as young ones we are supposed to have as part of us is the resilience and grit. What is even resilience at all? Resilience is your ability to recover from setbacks. Okay? Resilience is the ability to recover from setbacks. So if you are a young person, you go through school, your parents don't even have the financial capacity to even see you through school, but you have this mentality that I'm supposed to complete school, I'm supposed to become someone better, I'm supposed to be something quite valuable in my society. That is the spirit of resilience right there. But grit is the persistence to keep going despite the challenges. Grit is that regardless what is going on, I will still keep pushing on. I will still become the better version of myself. And that is what grit is. And these are the components that young men need in our lives. Right? Something quite simple which happens in our lives. Oh, I'm done. I wouldn't continue with this anymore. Maybe something happened at the workplace. Oh, I'm done. I wouldn't go back to that workplace anymore. I'm finding a new job. Something happened in the classroom, but no, I'm done. Where is this component of resilience and grit in our lives? In Romans 5:3-4, the Bible said that not only that, but we rejoice in our sufferings, knowing that suffering produces endurance, and endurance produces character, and character produces hope. So what we are going through, any challenge we are going through in our lives has this one assignment. The assignment is to help us build character. No one builds character in good times. I repeat, no one builds character in good times. Character is only built in bad times. So for you to build good character, God has to send challenges your way. He has to send sufferings your way. He has to send troubles your way. And it's only through these channels that you grow character. To embrace them. Embrace them as part of you. Number two is that view challenges as opportunities to learn rather than obstacles. Challenges come your way as a lesson ground. They build you and they shape you. They make you a better version of yourself. Think of every great name that you know. They all came out as better versions of themselves after a trouble or after a challenge. Why don't you embrace yours? Replace I failed with I'm learning what doesn't work so I can find what does. I repeat, replace I failed. Never say I failed, but say I'm learning what doesn't work so I can find what does. Try it out again. You've been castigated, you've been scandalized, you've been stigmatized, you've been lied on. Go back there again. Prove yourself strong again. As the Bible says in Philippians 4:13, that I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. There is a large possibility installed in us when we believe that it is only Christ who gives us that fortitude, that inner tenacity. And I want to give key practical steps to build our resilience. Number one, reflect on past challenges you overcame. Listen, everyone has a storm he or she has overcome in his or her life. Everyone has that storm in their life. Reflect on that. How God helped you to come out of that police case. How God helped you to come out of that challenge. How God helped you to come out of that trouble. Reflect on that. This reminds you of your inner strength that God has given you. Break big problems into smaller ones, manageable steps. Surrounding yourselves with supportive people who build, uplift you, and challenge you. Have the company of friends who say that, listen, we know that you are going through challenges. We know that you are going through troubles. We know that things are tough, but we are here for you. Have burden bearers. Have friends who will be with you in thick and in thin. Friends who say that regardless, we are still with you. In Proverbs 17, verse 17, the Bible said that a friend laughs at all times. A friend laughs at all times. A friend laughs at all times, not sometimes. Not when things are okay and smooth and all rosy. No. A friend laughs at all times. And a brother is born for adversity. Have such companions in your life. Friends who will love you regardless of the challenges. And number 5, manage emotions during setbacks. I know that at times in setbacks, emotions can be quite down. Yeah. You think about situations where you know that you haven't done anything wrong. You know that you're not part of the problem, but how the story was narrated, you were actually the victim. But in those times, you don't have to really let your emotions take control over you. However, you are supposed to acknowledge the disappointment and frustration. Don't let those paralyze you. In fact, in those times, that is where you have to pray the more and meditate the more. Draw closer to God the more. You will hear a couple of voices. Do ABC. Do 1, 2, 3. But when you are closer to God, He gives you that still voice in your ears that helps you and connects your life. Every failure teaches lessons that bring you closer to your goals. The key is reflection, learning, and persistence. My final quotation is Psalm 37, verse 24. The Bible said that though he falls, he shall not be utterly cast down, for the Lord upholds him with his right hand. And I want this to be your consolation, that if you are going through any challenge, any problem, have this mentality that God can help you build resilience and grit to bounce back better and bounce back stronger. I want to leave you with this quote. Strength doesn't come from what you can do. It comes from overcoming the things you once thought you couldn't. Setbacks are not your end. They are preparation for greatness. All right? So please relax. Don't let your frustrations and your challenges get the best out of you, but rather let it help you build you stronger and build you better. I know this has blessed you as it has blessed me. Please, if it has, can you like, comment, share, and subscribe so that the YouTube algorithm will show other people as well. Thank you so much and see you next Monday. Bye-bye.